Back, we continue live right here, Pittsburgh CW. Bob Pompeani and Ron Cook. Couple of days in between games. Ron, do you like 2 days off as opposed to one? I don't.
I'd rather they play, but you know, these players have been through so much. It's a grind. I'm sure they don't mind having the extra day off here, but from here on in, after the game Saturday night and Monday, then it's 3 days, 3 days, 3 days if it goes that long. So they're really stretching it out till mid-June. I wish it would be over by now, but we're only a couple games into the final.
We got Rich in Altoona leading us off on the hotline, sponsored by Borders & Borders. What's up, Rich?
Hey, guys. Nice to talk to you again. I don't know how much of the after-game footage you get to see or the announcers you get to listen to, but apparently, according to your producer, I'm not the only one with this opinion, that there is a perceived bias against the Penguins. It has been everything that Nashville has to do this, and they have to do that, and even Edzo last night saying how they have to get back in the game. It's 4-1. Bottom line is, the Penguins are up 2-0. They've got 3 goals in a span of like 7 minutes total for 2 games. Actually, 6 goals in those 2 games in a span of about 7 minutes. But everything is what Nashville has to do, this and that. And they haven't done anything as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, they played well Monday, but the Penguins, I think, clearly outplayed them last night. But even the Canadian guys are just not acknowledging what Pittsburgh has done to this point.
I don't know about that, Rich.
I would disagree totally with that from what I've heard, and I don't hear a lot of the post-game stuff because I'm working. But you know, I've heard Milbury call Sid one of the top 5 best players in the world, and we have Keith Jones on our show all the time. Keith's going to be on tomorrow morning at 10:25. As a matter of fact, he picked him against Washington. I don't know. I just think people were looking for stuff that they hear somebody say against their team, and that automatically makes them have a bias. I don't think Mike Milbury cares for 1 second who wins the Stanley Cup. I really don't, Bob. I don't know how you feel.
No, I don't either. I think he calls it what he calls it.
He calls them what he sees them.
I don't look at it that way either. I don't think I think they're all pretty good at what they do, and you know, they have pros, they have cons, but for the most part, I think people appreciate just how good Pittsburgh is, and it's rare to get back-to-back. We go out to Shai in the Hill District. What's up, Shai? How you doing?
Hello, Bob. How are you?
All right, go ahead.
I want to say to you, every time I watch the show, you look real sharp. And my question is, if the Penguins keep playing the way they playing, do you think they can take it in 4?
Oh, Shai, that would be hard. I said 7. I'm going to stick to a longer series. I think Nashville's going to win Game 3. I do. I think they're going to come out and they're going to play. If you watch them at home this postseason, now I realize this is a first-time team in a Stanley Cup Final, and they have hardly any experience aside from Mike Fisher, Ron, but at the same time, they've gone through some pretty good teams in the Western Conference to get to where they are, and they had to win some very tough games at home.
Yeah, I picked the Penguins in 6, and I'm going to stay with that. I think Nashville's going to win a couple games in this series. You know, the experience is definitely something that the Penguins have all over them, but I think Nashville at home tomorrow. I don't think the Penguins are going to be intimidated going into that building, but I think the home team is going to get a big lift. They tell me it's an unbelievable scene down there. I can't wait to get there. I'm going down tomorrow. Should be just a great atmosphere for a hockey game, and if the Penguins can find a way to get a split down there, then maybe they come home and finally win a championship in Pittsburgh for the first time, what, 67 years? 57 years. Mazeroski's home run.
Mazeroski was there last year when they thought they'd do it in Game 5, and they ran into Martin Jones. We have Kevin Hammer on Twitter. Ron has something to say to you about Letang. Should get Conn Smythe because Ron said they couldn't win a cup without him, and you did go on record.
I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. Once they beat Washington, I'm not so shocked. But I never in my wildest dreams thought they'd beat Washington without Letang, and that's why my premise was they couldn't win a cup without him, because I knew they were going to play Washington. Am I surprised? No. I'm absolutely stunned, and I know there's some people in that organization that are very, very surprised as well.
Bobby O on Twitter says, thank you, Ron, for making fun of KD Pomp, his odd obsession with the NBA.
Bob's 2 favorite loves are Twitter and the NBA. That's what he loves the most.
I love interacting with people, and if you watch all my social media, I do that. But at the same time, if you watch the NBA, it's the best of the best. Why wouldn't you want to watch it?
Well, maybe this series is, Bob, but from what I read, the whole playoffs have stunk.
Have you watched 1 minute of it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, well,
but have the playoffs stunk? I mean, aren't all the games like by 30 points ahead?
There have been some lopsided games. I'll grant
a lot.
That, but there's all right. Bottom line is it's a pretty good athletic.
You said you were going to take me to a Cavaliers game to try to change my mind, and you have failed to deliver.
Rob,
you're a renegger. You just take her. You're a taker-backer.
No, I'm not. I'll get you there. What's up, Rob?
Bob and Ron, y'all need to quit it, man. The Penguins is the superior team. They might not be playing up to their capabilities. Sid ain't got off yet. Kessel ain't got off yet. Rust ain't got off yet. We're going to sweep them, but that ain't what I called about. I called about because I got some information that y'all might want to know. After the season, after we won the Cup, Rick Tocchet will become the coach of the Buffalo Sabres. I just wanted to let you know.
Well, we've heard about that for a while now. And
I hope so. I'd love to see it happen. He's a great guy and a great coach.
Really
I'd love to see it happen.
He's one of the better guys you ever want to meet, too. Let's go to Stan in McCandless. Hey, Stan, welcome to the Sports Call. Go ahead.
Good evening. The thing I think that concerns me about Saturday's game is the chippiness that's been going on with the sticks and everything. And, of course, these referees are letting a lot of things go. One play in particular that I didn't really like was when Subban when Sid was down, he came in there and he looked like he tried to use some kind of UFC elbow to his head.
Yeah, he did.
Right there. That was absolutely ridiculous. This is just these guys have an opportunity up in Canada. These morons that run the league have an opportunity to do something to enforce the rules, and they'll just continue to let this old-time 70s.
Well, all you had to do is listen to Colin Campbell, and thanks for the call. And Gary Bettman this week were interviewed here. They had a press conference, and Ron, basically everything's all fine. There are no problems with headshots or any kind of cheap shots or inconsistent officiating, which I can't believe.
Hey, man, I thought Cullen was boarded last night. I didn't like the way Kunitz cross-checked Subban in the back of the head. Subban's a dirty player, though. That goes back to what with the Penguins still playoffs in 2010 when everybody believes in the Penguins. They literally sliced his skate across Stahl's skate and tore a tendon in his foot. Had to have surgery.
But he did come back, though, if I recall, Jordan Stahl.
Missed 2 games, played, the Penguins got beat, and then he had surgery.
All right, let's go out to Jim in Greensburg. Joins us right now on the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call. Go ahead, Jim. Welcome.
Bob and Ron, thanks for taking the call. Without beating a dead horse here, I'm just going to give an opinion. I'm stuck on Ole Mata. Not real happy with his performance. I realize I'm not the coach, but is there anybody on the roster who could possibly take his place?
No, not right now.
I think the coaches believe he's been their best defenseman through the playoffs. That was a bad goal he gave up last night. He misplayed that play that allowed the goal. Did not play that well. I mean, he's had his moments where he's been beaten, but they all have. My understanding is the coaches think he's their best defenseman.
Yeah, they do, and they have proof of it by breaking down videotapes. And, you know, he doesn't do the things that I think a lot of people want to see, which are big physical hits, you know, in open ice. He doesn't go and rattle you around the boards. He's a smart player. Yeah, he got beat by Auberg, but I chose also to look at it this way, Ron. That was a heck of a play. If that was done by Malkin or Crosby, what would we be talking about today?
No, but it wasn't done by Crosby or Malkin.
This kid has a lot of skill.
It was a great play, but Mata's got to play that a little better.
I understand that. But, I mean, if you look at that and judge him only by that, then you're going to come away thinking
he can play for me, and I know what the coaches think.
He's only 22 years old.
And he gets a lot of key minutes at the end of close games, which tells you what they think about him.
All right, we're going to take a break here. More calls on the way. It's 412-575-2600 right here on Pittsburgh CW.